Hey everyone! I had promised you guys a video on my vacation fragrance haul, and I am here delivering. This is a super lazy no makeup video because I went for a run after work and I already took a shower and I am not dealing with all that again. Sorry, not sorry. So if you visited my blog or my Instagram or anything in about the past 6 months, you probably already know that Joseph and I went on vacation in Paris and London for about a week and a half in April, and it was amazing. And naturally I did a lot of shopping. I was trying to stick kind of more with stuff that I can't get easily at home because the exchange rate makes everything a little more expensive there, and it wouldn't make any sense to buy things there that I can just pick up at Sephora. So that ended up with me getting a lot of city exclusive fragrances and stuff like that. I'm going to kind of fly through all of this because I don't want this video to get super long, but if there's anything that you want to know more about or you want a review of first, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to get that for you. So let's get started. The first stop on my list was Latitude because that's where their original store was. That's, you know, it's still their flagship, and I really wanted to check it out because those damn candle jars are just so pretty, and I've been wanting one forever. We don't really have anywhere to buy Latitude close to me. It's over an hour drive to anywhere that sells it. So it's something that I haven't seen a lot of. I went into the flagship store. They were super great, and you know, I spent way too long browsing over all of their stuff. But I ended up with a set of their eau de toilette travel sprays and a few candles between the one in Paris and the one in London. I'll get to that in a sec. So I got this little set of travel sprays, which are super cute. I couldn't decide on a fragrance, and I didn't feel like I needed a whole bottle of anything. And then the gentleman that was working there told me that the set in the boutique you can customize. There's a similar one on like Neiman Marcus and stuff, but you don't get to pick your fragrances. They're just chosen for you, and some of them I don't want. So I've never gotten that. But as soon as he told me that I could pick what I wanted in my set, I was sold. Yeah. And I will apologize in advance. My French is terrible. Everybody that I spoke to was like, "Oh no, honey, stop," as soon as I opened my mouth. So I'm gonna butcher some French fragrance names, and I'm sorry. So the first one that I got is Vetiverio. I like the artwork on their bottles too. It's really pretty. It is, as you would suspect from the name, very heavy on vetiver. It's got some grapefruit in it. And also Philosophos, which I actually had a sample vial of from, I think I got it in a Nordstrom order or something, that I really like. So I knew I wanted that one going in. And it is fig, just fig everything. Fig leaves, fig fruit. It's a lovely scent. And this is one that I'm going to have a lot of trouble with. L'Ombre dans l'eau. It's got a lot of rose, black currant, so it's sort of a fruity floral mix. The fourth one in the set is Eau de Sang, which is orange blossom. It's got a little bit of patchouli in it, and when the sales staff were describing that to me, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hate that because I am not a huge fan of patchouli, but it's very subtle, and you know, the floral at least on my skin, comes out a lot more. So I really like that one. And then there's the classic Eau Rose, which is just roses all the way through. There are a few different varieties of roses, but you can't really mistake it for anything else. And I also like that they give you in the set a little travel bag to put your fragrance in. So if you want to stick it in your purse, it won't bang around and get all cracked up. Obviously, I couldn't go there without getting some candles. So at first, I was just going to pick one, and so I was just like, I'll get whichever one is my favorite. And that was mimosa. I love the scent of mimosa. I love mimosa trees. I love the flowers. I think they're gorgeous. I am a little baffled that I don't have any in my yard, actually. Maybe that'll be a project for next summer. But it's a really light floral scent, and I want my house to smell like it always. And I haven't lit any of these yet because I'm trying to finish up some other candles that just refuse to die. I don't like to have too many burning at once. When we went to London, I stopped at the Diptyque store there too, because I wanted to check out the city candles, and I decided I wanted to collect them, all the ones to the places I travel anyway. So this one is really reflective. You probably can't see it very well, but that is the London candle. It straight up smells like a flower market. It's probably one that it'll take me a while to get through because it's very, very floral. I think like lilac and hyacinth, and there's something kind of piney in there. So it does smell good, but I think it's probably possible to overdo. So that'll just be an occasional burn kind of one. So we went back to Paris for a day at the end of our trip to fly out of there because it was cheaper to fly out of Paris than London. So while we were there, I went back to Diptyque and got the Paris City Candle, which I love the kind of Art Nouveau pattern that they have on there. It's super pretty. This will definitely be going on display somewhere in my makeup room. And I love the smell. It's got I couldn't find anything about it online, because if you Google Diptyque Paris, it's just like, oh, you want the store. And I'm like, thanks, guys. That's helpful, but not. But I feel like there's white musk and something woody and some citrus in there. My very untrained nose, that's like the best I can do without looking up some information. But it's super nice. It's not overly feminine, so I'm thinking of this as a sort of downstairs main floor candle, since, my husband lives here too. And maybe he doesn't want our house to smell like flowers all the time. Or maybe he does, who knows. Also from Paris, I visited the Le Labo store. I had gotten a couple of little samples in Nordstrom orders and stuff and really liked them. And I wanted to go smell everything. And I was supposed to, or I had planned to go to the store in Boston because I was going to be there for work. But then my trip got canceled because snowpocalypse, and so I had to wait until we went to Paris to go to the Le Labo store. I ended up getting their city exclusive fragrance, which is Vanille 44. And if you notice, that is a tiny ass bottle. I got the 15 milliliter because the city exclusives are so much more expensive than their regular fragrance line. I want to say that it was like €100 or something crazy like that So, yeah, teeny little bit. I will be hoarding it, even though one of my friends on Instagram told me that the other stores will refill it if you have the bottle. So I guess I'll try that if and when I run out. I didn't think that I would like this scent because a lot of vanilla fragrances on me turn like straight sickly sweet vanilla, and they're a little bit overbearing. This one is like unprocessed vanilla, not vanilla extract, if that makes any sense. It's really woody. It's got a little bit of an incense undertone, so it's much different than I expected, and not what you'd really find in a more mainstream vanilla fragrance. You guys know how I feel about Jo Malone fragrances. I think they're amazing. They're not the most concentrated or the most long wearing. I love how, subtle and wearable they all are, and the fact that you can combine them. So I went to their Regent Street flagship store because that's where they have their archive fragrances. Old favorites that have been discontinued, but you can get them at Regent Street. And I spent like an hour there sniffing all of the different fragrances. And I have a blog post up about this. I'll link it in the description because, I have some pictures of the store and go into some more detail. I ended up with Ginger Biscuit, which is the exact opposite of Vanille 44. It's all ginger and vanilla and caramel, and it smells like a bakery, honestly. It's a very winter fragrance. I haven't really been wearing it, and I don't see myself wearing it until it starts to cool down a little bit. But I think it'll be really great to combine with other fragrances to sort of warm them up. And it's super cozy, so I will not mind when it gets cold. It's just a little too sweet for hot weather. I think it would get a little bit cloying, so I'm holding on to this for a little bit. I also got the colorful cap because they had them there, and they were like pounds. They were 4 extra pounds. And I was like, why not? It would look super cute with a black cap. So when you get one of these, they do give you the original silver cap too, if you care. So now I have a random cap that has no perfume to go with it. Will be handy if I ever lose one, I guess. The last thing I got was at Harrods in London. I stopped by the Byredo counter because I got their Bibliothèque perfume a few months ago, I think, when they re-released the perfume. So I wanted to check out their other fragrances, of course. And I ended up going with the Harrods exclusive, which is Coeur Obscur. It's a really nice leather scent. It's got some kind of amaretto and musk and something floral. It's fairly unisex, but a little bit more on the feminine side. The wear time on it is crazy. If I do 2 sprays, I'll still catch whiffs of it, like after dinner, which is really nice. People at Diptyque and Byredo hooked me up with samples. It's out of this world. So I've got a ton of other things to try from them. Diptyque Olen, 34 Boulevard Saint-Germain. Let's see, what else do I have? Diptyque. Dosan, which I have smelled before and wasn't a huge fan of, but I'll give it another chance. L'Eau Neroli. L'Eau de Tarocco. I haven't even smelled all of these. L'Eau de l'Eau. And Byredo, I got Bal d'Afrique, which is really super nice. Black Saffron, which I haven't tried yet. And Mojave Ghost. which I also really like. So I see some of those in my future, possibly. And that's it for the fragrances. I picked up a few little skincare things, but I think I'm going to do a separate post about those because this is already getting kind of lengthy and I want to get a chance to test them a little bit more before I talk about them. If you want to hear more about any of these, leave me a comment. Leave a comment too and tell us the coolest fragrance you bought while you were traveling. And I will see you guys soon.